Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Pramod Deshpande, typically called as Coach Pramod. I'm the head coach for Jayanagar Jaguars. We have our training location all across India, some 26 location all across India, Bangalore, Pune, Kolkata, Hosur, Salem, so many places. And we train for events like TCS 10K, about 1,000+ runners at any given time. So I'm really thankful for Procam to giving me this opportunity to talk about the importance of virtual runs or how to prepare for virtual runs and how you can enjoy this TCS World 10K virtual run. So uh, let's begin, right? This pandemic has taught us so many new things and also has made us realize that what are our potentials which we were unaware of. And this virtual events is one of such things, right? Actually, this pandemic has taught us the importance of fitness in enhancing our immune response. And many of us are taking up to running and cycling and all of those activities, right? To get back to fitness. And I guess that's the greatest thing this pandemic would have made. And as I was saying, this has given us a new sport called virtual events. In fact, major event organizers like Mumbai Marathon or New York Marathon have started this concept of virtual running when their main event is starting. And if you can't go to Mumbai or to New York, you can run at your place. That's how the idea was. But pandemic has made that now into a so the virtual run is catching up, right? Now, what is the difference, right, between a virtual run and this run? Uh, the physical run, what we are used to. There are many differences, and like any new thing, there are some positive sides, there are some negative sides, and so on and so forth, right? So, what are major differences? Of course, the first and foremost is all the participants in a physical event have a level playing field, right? You run the same course at the same time with the same weather conditions. That is not the case, right? That's one very major aspect which everybody has to consider. Secondly, the atmosphere of the event, the camaraderie with our fellow runners, that is also missing. Thirdly, and importantly, we miss the aid stations because the event organizers take a lot of pain to make us available those aid stations, the the water, fast up, or whatever your supplement is, right? All of that, the event organizers have gone ahead and created that for you. Now that is going to be missing. And most importantly, what is that we miss in this is the crowd's encouragement, right? So we have experienced as a runner in places like great places like Mumbai, where the crowd just makes us run the event, and many cities give us that kind of energy, right? So, guys, there was some gap. Are we fine? Are we? But this is not only the negative, right? There are many positive things also. Firstly, these events are providing us a great way to overcome the pandemic gloom. Right? We have been in that gloom, right? What is going to happen? We can't go out. This lockdown, that lockdown. We have endured all of that, and that gloom was setting up. Now these events are getting us a chance to, break away from that and come out. Uh, Second important thing is we get to run at our convenience. A location which is convenient to us, a time which is convenient to us, that's a great advantage. And we can use that advantage to our, we can use these advantages to get a better performance. Thirdly, we can choose a route of our own liking. So many of us like to run in greenery. Many of us like to run on trail, but that's not always possible in a physical event because we have to run a pre-described route by the organizers. So that's another positive aspects of, right? So these are the major differences what we are going to face between the physical event and the virtual event. Now, these are a lot of new learnings what has to go into this, and let us start. I would like to actually bifurcate this into two aspects, right? One, for the runners who are doing a running event for the first time. So you really don't have to worry about what I just said about the physical event, right? You are running for the first time, and that too in a virtual event. So my suggestion to you is just enjoy this. Yeah, do not worry too much about what is the time. Am I running fast? Am I running slow? Just forget it. Just enjoy this, right? So whatever I'm going to say next, some of those aspects might not be relevant to you, but just listen to them. Yeah, don't get carried away with what I'm going to say going forward. So for you, those guys who are running for the first time, it's just something. Enjoy the running, enjoy the high, enjoy the completion of the event, enjoy the great medal you might get, enjoy the certificate what you are going to get, and all of that. Right? Just don't get carried away with some of the technical aspects I might cover. But there are some things which everybody needs to understand. Uh, the first time runners or the experienced runners, and it is more important for the experienced runners. What has happened is all of us have spent a lot of time indoors, months, which we have never done earlier. Months and months we have been in one place, right? That has taken a toll on our fitness levels, that has taken toll on our ability to run at some specific pace. All of that is going to impact when we are going to get into a new virtual a virtual run for the first time. And secondly, some of us might have gone through and overcome COVID. And if you are trying to run an event, great, congratulations to you for first of all defeating COVID, and secondly, trying to attempt to do something coming out of that. Yeah, so great. But for both cases, we must remember that we have to tone down our expectations. For runners who are doing it for the first time, there is no expectation. And as I said, don't put any expectation, just enjoy. But the experienced runners who are coming and doing this as a first time, right? Please understand that you have to tone down your expectations. The 3 months, 4 months of inactivity has considerably cut down our performance. The mental stress which we have gone through in this earlier times had cut down our ability to run that fast. So please consider this. Those who have overcome COVID, yeah, a lot of things are still unknown. So take it easy, take it gradual. Yeah. So uh, that is setting just the expectation. Right. Second consideration is the lockdown has relaxed some 3 months back. So the preparation time for a virtual event is actually for many of us. I'm not saying for everybody. There might be people who have been practicing for this for quite some time, and great. But for many of us, the available time might be 2 months or might be 3 months. So remember this aspect. Yeah, what you were doing pre-COVID in March. So in March, maybe you are at a 5 kilometer average pace for a 21 kilometers. But after that, we have 3 months of time now, and we have to consider that time for our preparation. So we have to consider which event we should participate. And I guess that's where this 10K comes to be a great start for getting back to running. So TCS World 10K will be, in my opinion, a perfect event to test out, because we would have got 3 months, 2 months of time, and that is enough time for us to at least start going back to where we were earlier. If not, we can perform much better, but at least where we can be, right? In that also, as I was saying, you might be at five minutes pace, for a 21 kilometers in March. But it's 3, 4, 5, whatever the gap you have to take, would have reduced your pace, would have reduced your ability to run those 21 kilometers. So when you start your preparation for this, you must, try to be gradual in that. Don't try to attempt immediately that 5 pace. Fine if you have to run at 6 or 5:30, 5:45, doesn't matter. This is going to be the first event. So be gradual in your approach, be gradual in your preparation, and tone down your expectations of what you guys are going to do. Right? Another important thing from a preparation perspective, what has happened so far is because of lockdowns, we didn't had access to gyms, right? Some of us might be lucky enough to have gym equipment at home, but many of us would not have that, opportunity. And our strength work has reduced quite a bit. And because of a lot of sedentary lifestyle, which we're forced to undergo, we would have lost, the muscle entropy would have taken place because it is 3 months, 4 months. And we are not getting that opportunity to rebuild those muscles back because the gyms are not available. Consider this aspect also. So in these 3 months, 2 months, whatever you might have got, you might have recovered your stamina or recovered your endurance, but your pace is still getting impacted because of loss of strength or loss of muscles what you would have earlier having. So understand that aspect as well. So in your preparation, try to get into some exercises apart from just running, which will help you build your muscles. So maybe squats, half squats, lunges, and so on and so forth. A lot of available opportunities to develop your muscles. Please definitely do that. So this is about preparation. This is about toning down your expectations. But we are here to enjoy, right? That's what I said. A event is an event, whether it's physical event, whether it's virtual event. This is giving us an opportunity to go out, run, earn some medal, on a timing certificate, check where we stand currently. Are we back to our normal fitness, or have you been putting enough time on road and we have improved our performance? All of that is going to happen in this event. So we are here to enjoy, right? So what is the difference from a running perspective during an event is what let us consider this aspect now. So the first and foremost thing, what is going to be missing, like where I said right earlier, is the atmosphere and the camaraderie. So from running perspective, what is going to miss is the adrenaline rush, right? The hormones which we are going to get us ready, raring to go, and you know start that first couple of kilometers fast, and all of that. That sets our tone for the entire race, etc. That entire thing is going to be missing. So understand that that is going to have a good impact on how we are going to run this race, right? This event, the virtual event. And it's not only at the beginning, at the end also, there is typically towards the end of a physical event, we see a lot of people cheering you and making you go. And there are a lot of runners with you. You want to overtake somebody, you want to keep ahead of somebody, all of those things which keeps your adrenaline rushing and take you over for this last couple of kilometers is also going to be missing. So first starting and the end part of it, where sheer being in a competitive event where others are also competing with you, others are also running, crowd supporting you, that important aspect of adrenaline rush is going to be missing. It is easier said than experiencing it while running. We know we do that in practice runs, right? There is not much of all of this available, and we are used to doing that in our workouts. But that difference, that gap is going to be very, very crucial when you are going to run a virtual event. Yeah, so you have to prepare your mind for that. Best way to do it is try to do a couple of very tough workouts where you are tired. Uh, so you can do it at a later part of the day, which you are not used to running. Maybe on a tougher terrain, maybe on a place where you had to run, wherever where you can push your mental limits. Try a couple of runs out there doing that. So that will give you, uh, you know, ability to overcome this lack of adrenaline. And just try a couple of uh, workouts where it is going to stress you out, uh, right? Because the 10 kilometer might not stress you out just like that, but mentally you should get a bit of a push. Doing that, you have to push some couple of last kilometers, maybe uphill, try uphill running in last couple of kilometers. So all of that will start getting mentally prepared for you for lack of this adrenaline rush. Secondly, all the organizers like Procam, what they do is they really pamper us, right? In terms of the aid stations available. You get your water, you might get your fasten up or whichever drink you want to have, and all of that is available while running. You don't have to typically worry about it. Even many of us have this habit of carrying something in our hand, but that's a backup for us mentally. But we are quite aware that after 4 kilometer, 3 kilometer, 2 kilometer, whatever may be the case, there is going to be some aid station available. Now that is not going to be the case. So what you will have to do is you will have to arrange it for yourself. That means requires a lot of pre-planning. If you are running in a group, yeah, a group can do pre-planning. If you are running individual, still you will have to do pre-planning. But a pre-planning of aid station is something very important, which we need to consider in virtual runs. Yeah, what happens many a times for experienced runners is because we run so many events and we are quite aware that there is going to be water. This kind of slips our mind that we need to do that for ourselves. So understand this is going to be a very, very crucial aspect of your event and of your performance. Yeah, so that's the second important thing. Uh, Thirdly, there is nobody who's going to measure the route for you, right? And that means we have to measure a route, and we have our workout runs happening, and we know the routes typically, and we try to run on those routes. But it will be a good idea to run on that route maybe a couple of times. Just check with your Garmin and maybe some other app, right? Check with a couple of apps so that you get a fair idea of where the 10 kilometer is finishing, all right, or 5 kilometer is finishing, whatever is your event in a virtual run. Just get a fair idea of where uh, how my route is going to be, because what happens is whatever app you use, right, the two apps are not going to be showing you exact timing. That never happens, right? And sometimes you get to run in the least possible route. Sometimes you will have to go a corner. You can't cut the corner because this is not a route controlled by somebody, right, by event organizer. So there are going to be these challenges on the route when you are going to run. There is going to be somebody standing in between, some car fellow coming in. All of those challenges are going to be there. So better idea is to go and measure your route yourself a couple of times, take the average, and be sure that you are completing the 10 kilometers from point A to point B, going back and coming back, or doing a loop couple of times. Get a clear clarity that you are confident that it is 10 kilometers, and to that add some more distance. So what is going to happen is if for some technical reasons the app doesn't work, it doesn't capture the exact distance and those kind of things, if it happens, you still have a backup and you don't lose that run. That is very important. So marking your route is also a very important thing for a virtual run. Third important thing is what is happening is the organizers might ask you to download an app and run with that app. And you are used to some different app to measure your workouts. You are used to your wearable, maybe whichever wearable you are using, Apple, etc. Right? These apps don't sync exactly, right? And the way you start an app, the way you're going to stop the app, there are so many nuances of app which you are so used to. Now you are asked to use another app. So please do some dry runs with that app. All of this seems to be very logical, common sense things, but after running 9.9 kilometers, missing up on something very smaller is a very disheartening thing. So do those kind of things. Make sure that you know how that app works. Get used to it. Trial run are very important. Even if you can't do the entire route trial run, that's fine. You should do at least 4 or 5 kilometers of that and make sure that you understand the app well, when to start, when to stop, how to save. Yeah, many a times saving takes a issue, right? All of those technical issues get out of the way. My suggestion always would be to have backup application running. So for some reason, uh, something doesn't work, right? Uh, the organizer's app doesn't work, or your mobile stops. There can be various issues can happen. So if, for example, if you have another app running on a wearable or something like that, you at least will have a case to put up uh, for the organizer saying that there was a technical issue, right? So please understand this aspect also, because in a physical event we have never bothered about it, right? There is going to be a mat. We have to make sure that our bib gets caught on that mat scanner and we are through. That is not going to be the case, right? Uh, so these are some of the aspects for the technical aspects, etc. Uh, but most importantly, what is going to happen? And I think this is something you should consider as a blessing in disguise. And it is contra to what I said earlier about the adrenaline rush. So that adrenaline rush also has a downside. Is what happens is we plan our event the way we are going to run. I'm going to hit first kilometer at this time, second kilometer at this. All that we will do on Excel sheet. In a physical event, there is a competition always, and we runners are competitive guys. We don't want to be overtaken, right? And we will try to run faster. So 90% of time we deviate from our plan. So I think we should consider virtual event, and that's a big plus for these virtual events, is where we can plan our race the way we want and we can execute our race the way we want. And if you compare this execution, what you have done, virtual event where there is, you are not getting pulled by somebody, by the adrenaline rush, by the competition, and you stick to exactly your plan and compare that with something which you have done earlier. So that is going to be a great source of information for you about your preparation, current preparation, your future preparation, etc. So use this aspect of virtual run to your advantage, and that is going to be a great advantage. Do not miss this at all. Yeah, please make sure that you plan properly and you execute your plan exactly, because there is not going to be the competitive pressure or the rush around, right? And the last point which I want to highlight, and that's again because of these organizers like Procam pamper us so much that immediately we finish the race, there is somebody who's giving us a water bottle. There is somebody who's going to give us a refreshment, right? That is not going to be the case. So you have to make sure that you arrange for your refreshment much earlier, because please never take this post-run refreshment or replenishing of the calories or the energy lightly. That is very important from your recovery perspective. And what happens is we will say that I will finish here, then I have our regular joint where we can go and have breakfast. Yeah, but it might take some time to reach there because you are not completed a workout, you have completed a race. So still all of that mindset, you're cooling down, you're waiting for somebody else to come, and then you go and hundred of things. So what is going to happen is you're going to miss that golden period of getting the replenishment. So make sure that you have your refreshments available. Now, so these are some of the tips which I thought I should be sharing with you. Of course, these many of these are most likely common or logical things what I said, but I thought these are very important aspects, even though they might sound very common. Please consider all of those and enjoy your event. And as I said earlier, mark your route the way you want. That is the real joy of running, right? If I want to run amidst trees, yeah, virtual run is going to give me chance to do that. If I want to run on, let's say, a 5 kilometer trail up and out and back, so enjoy. So the bottom line for virtual run is you can enjoy them more, or let me say, different way than a physical event. There are some plus points which I just said. So do that, enjoy, and really happy that organizers like Procam are coming forward doing these events, because this is what the running community was looking forward to. And let us take advantage of it, and let us enjoy this TCS World 10K. All the best.